Well, we've made it to Friday, the 15th of November. Cheers. It's early in the morning. That's the way I like it. Feeling pretty good today. I don't talk about my ears because I've just gotten used to it. The tinnitus, it rises and falls. It's like it goes for days, and then there'll be suddenly a day when it's quiet for a day. Then it comes rushing back the next day. Well, folks, I heard from enough of you. I went ahead and I made up the artwork and everything and ordered a run of 100 CDRs of Inner Image. Thank you for your interest. Hopefully, I'll have them in time for Bandcamp December. The first should have them by the first Friday of December. And thank you for your interest. And I've also done something to make it special. I've added a bonus track on the CD, the track that I shared recently, Music for a Lost World. That was inspired by Alone off of the new Cure album. I've included the more complete version of that on the CDR. I will call it the complete version, okay? It's just wordless, but most of my music is wordless. But I've added that as a bonus track on the CDR. I'm not going to add it on the Bandcamp digital for now to make the CDR more special. And I might leave it like that, but the only way you can get that track is to get the CDR. And I thought I'd point out that the process for glass mastering compact discs is a little more expensive. And so when you get those short run manufactured CDRs, that's what they are. They're usually CDRs. And so, like, for example, the Muse, I love that, is a CDR. You can tell by the back, the cup, you can tell. However, Interlude, because I went ahead and made more copies of this, I had it glass mastered, and you can tell. You can see the difference. See, the glass mastered CD is basically more protected, I guess, is one way to look at it. I've never had a problem with CDRs that I've bought. I've heard people make complaints about CDR skipping and this and that. I've never encountered that. So, looking forward. That's the other thing about manufacturing things. The wait for vinyl is excruciating because it's so long. You're waiting for months. This is thankfully only weeks, but it's the way that my mind works. It's like it'll be hard to not think about it, anticipating. You know what I'm saying? So I went ahead. So there will be 100 copies of Inner Image available soon on CD. I'll just say that. Now you know, okay, the difference. Cheers, people. I got a message from someone on Instagram about the record that I received, Lil Yachty's, saying that it wasn't them. I didn't make any assumption that it was you, because you're probably watching this. I've received a lot of records anonymously over the years. I made no assumption. I don't know. I have no idea who sent that record to me. Okay? So, keep it quick today. And, another day spent. I just have to do this. I have to kind of keep my nose to the grindstone, because every time I look at the news, it's unbelievable. Trump is doing exactly what he said he would, and it's like, y'all didn't think he would do this, and you think this is going to be good for the country, good for the world? these really low life people who he's surrounding himself with. Filling up that swamp pretty damn good, isn't he? Okay. So besides work, I did play a couple records yesterday, and this is one of them, Het, H-E-T. This comes courtesy of Recommended Records. This is either late 70s or early 80s. 1984. This Bill Galanis is one of the names on here. Eric Radcliffe is another. This is the sort of unusual thing that I like. This is very verbal and very vocal. There's a lot of vocalese on here where it's almost like the monkey chant from the Middle East, wherever that is. I forget what the monkey chant is, where they do the rhythmic thing. They don't exactly do that here, but a lot of what's going on here is like that. They're shouting and even screaming, and I don't know what's going on, but combined with the percussive sound background, this was a very interesting and intriguing listen. I've had this for years. It's one of those kind of records that, you get it because of, and then it's like, yeah, I kind of dig this, but it's not like Henry Cow, which is in a similar bag, but Henry Cow is something that just really grew on me. I know the melodies of Henry Cow songs. I finally got to the Edgar Varese and listened to Ionization. I believe that's the one with the horns, the car horns. Well, maybe I shouldn't assume they're car horns, but horns. And as I'm listening, it's like, yes, I can actually recall some of the melodic fragments of this piece. I've heard it that many times. Then as I'm listening to it, I'm reflecting on how, well, it's really obvious why this was so inspiring to Frank Zappa. I mean, you can hear where Zappa got some of the ways that he makes his music move from Varese. That was enjoyable. I did a blind pull. No TV. It's kind of weird. I have Tubi. I don't pay for any subscription. I just get free stuff. It's interesting how the Tubi, whoever owns it, all of a sudden there's these Trump movies about Trump. And also I've noticed, well, just in general, how there are just so many of the movies to choose from are just so negative. They're about the apocalypse, the end of the world, alien agendas. It's like rich people just trying to drive us crazy. It's like, Mad Max. It's like, we're going to get Mad Max. We're going to be devolved to a Mad Max world, whether we like it or not. Especially when you hear that Trump is talking about getting rid of the Department of Education. I mean, can't we do something? This is a nightmare. Okay, back to music, because it's like I just have to just keep it low to the ground so I don't lose it. Looking at the world, it's crazy. And the politics, the problem that I see is that it's the trajectory of politics is never improving. It's always getting worse. So, music. This is a blind poll. And then when I showed it on Facebook in a certain group, someone posted where they were watching a documentary about, or not a documentary, but a movie about Gainsbourg. So I looked it up on Tubi and it was there, so I started to watch that. But it was a dramatization, and so only to a point did it keep my interest. But this is a cool album, Histoire de Melody Nelson. This is a very nice reissue. from Light in the Attic. I don't speak French, and he's cooing, and it sounds like it's all, let's get ready for the boudoir, my lady, or whatever you would say. But the backing tracks is a rock band. I forget who it is. It says on here. Isn't that beautiful? But the tracks are good. And there's a couple of tracks on here where it's like, ooh, the band is kicking. That's kind of funky and edgy. I'm pretty sure that the musicians are of note. Jean-Claude Vanier. Is he the producer? I see that name here. He does the arrangements. Yes. This is good. It's a good listen. I have the album that he made with Jane Birkin, Je T'aime. That's kind of fun too. All saucy and hot and stuff. Couple more. Yeah, I got a couple more. Hadn't played this since I bought it. Tribute to Ryuichi Sakamoto, To the Moon and Back. This is much better now. When I first got it, because my Sakamoto standards are very, very high. Were. As a composer, as a person, it seems. So on first listening, it was like, this is pretty good. But yesterday it was like, this is very good. Everyone from David Finez is on here. Devontae Hines. Thundercat is on here. Yoshihide Otomo is on here. Alvanato is on here. This is good. David down in Atlanta. I just remembered to mention this. So I had said that I was going to mention some digital releases that were brought to my attention. Sorry, but that's just not going to work. You know, it's just it's much different from having something to look at and ponder while I'm listening. But along the digital lines, my friend David Matiziak down in Atlanta, his band Flamingo Shadow have a new album out digitally. I think it's only digital. And if you remember that name, Flamingo Shadow, look it up and give them a listen. These other people who have... Chris Cochran is one of them who contacted me about his music. And, you know, I'll listen again, but it's like this is good, but this is not tripping my trigger like I got to tell people about this. Okay. Two other artists recently sent me links to their stuff, really wanting to talk and get on the show, on my show. I'll call it a show on my channel. And the music is good, but it's like I'm not moved to want to do that. Can't even remember their names. I'm sorry. So and like I said, I get music for years from all kinds of sources. I don't always know who it is. I don't assume it's one person. I've received a lot of records from all kinds of people from all over the world. That's for the person that contacted me on Instagram, if I didn't mention it already in the video. I made no assumption that you sent me that record. I don't know who sent me what, if there's no name. A couple more records that got played. This was fantastic. I forgot how good this is. Jennifer Williams, Orgonomic Music. Look who is on it. Eddie Henderson. I'll just stop right there, okay? Everybody else is good, but Eddie Henderson is a feature. Williams plays piano. Jessica Williams plays piano. Now, it's interesting. She has technique, but there's also an aspect here where she's having fun, which is like, how about that? You can hear the joy in her soloing. You can also hear where she has good technique. She can play fast, but every now and then she'll play a real cliched, like blues thing, and it's like, okay, Maybe that's why we don't hear about her. But overall, it's like this is fresh. And the comedy jazz, this ensemble jazz is not free. Good composing. Parts where they're doing kind of the fusion thing where it's fast and syncopated and really cool, interesting melody lines. That was a surprise. I'd forgotten about that album. It's very good. Jessica Jennifer Williams. So I'd mentioned that I'd pulled this, but I went ahead and played it. Theme and Jean-Hervé Perron and Zaltsaurus. Poison is not the word. This is difficult. Part of this is not pleasant at all. There's like, it's documenting something that they did. There's some intent involved here, but parts of this are grating. I'm just going to be honest. That violin and the saxophone, I listened to both sides. The side with that's primarily violin, it's like I had to take it off. It's like, no, this, I don't know why y'all did this. Yeah, seriously. If you're going to put this out, you ought to be putting my music out on vinyl. I'm serious. It's so one of the parts of this that makes it collectible for me, besides knowing the person who released this, Richard, is the fact that a member of Faust is on here. So I relate to that aspect of it, which is we're doing what we're doing. We're doing it for whatever reason we're doing. Maybe they're trying to out Faust, but some of it is just very unpleasant. Very unpleasant. If you see this, Richard, and you want to expound on what was going on with this project to give it more light, to explain why you released that, I would be interested to know. Yeah. And then I played this. It was out. The Residents' Snaky Wake. I really love the Residents, and this is very good and very unique. Very, very unique. Also very American in a strange, not strange, but American in its strangeness. It's uniquely, strangely American. Very cool. So that's what's up. Let's get ready. Hopefully we'll have a good weekend. Hopefully. I don't know what's going on in the world in the headlines because, like I said, the blackouts. I'll click on and see the political headline, and it's like, okay, that's enough. So I don't know if there's any catastrophes happening in the world or if the war is changed. I'll check today. But let's try to have a good day. And thank you for your interest in my music. Like I said, in a couple of weeks, I should have the physical copies of Inner Image. It will sport a bonus track. Okay, talk to you later.